Welcome back. There was a slim chance Colt Brennan would make the Oakland Raiders roster this season, but that chance is now gone. The former UH star quarterback was cut today by the Silver and Black. It's the second time Colt has been released this summer. The Washington Redskins cut the 27-year-old about a month ago before getting a tryout with the Raiders, signing a one-year deal, but his playing time was limited in the preseason. He only appeared in one game, handing off most of the time and completing his only pass. Colt was one of 21 cuts made by the Raiders today as they tried to get to their 53-man roster limit. It's likely that Brennan will be out of pro football for the first time since he was drafted by the Redskins 2 years ago. Here's a look at some of Colt's NFL highlights. He was drafted in the 6th round of the 2008 NFL Draft. He was impressive in his preseason debut, completing 9 of 10 passes for 123 yards and 2 TDs in a win over the Indianapolis Colts. 2 weeks later, against the New York Jets, he went 4 for 5 for 79 yards, scoring the game-winning TD on a 33-yard pass, but injuries plagued Brennan, who went down the next season with a torn hamstring and a hip injury. With the Raiders, he played in just one preseason game against the Bears, completing his only pass. Colt never played a down in the regular season. The current Hawaii starting quarterback, Moniz, says he feels okay today after suffering a punishing blow to the helmet against USC. But as the rest of the team practiced this morning, the junior QB didn't. It's still uncertain whether Moniz suffered a concussion or not, and we'll have to wait for an official diagnosis that should be done during the next few days. Moniz says he did not lose consciousness after play at USC play, and he says he'll be back at practice taking snaps this week.
I feel good, I feel normal. I feel like the regular bumps and bruises after a game is pretty much how it feels. Overall, I feel pretty good.
Well, I think he's fine. In talking to Mo, he feels fine. Talking to the, everyone, I think he's fine.
Coach Mack says he expects Moniz to be the starting quarterback for next weekend's game against Army. But just in case, Shane Austin is waiting in the wings. The junior took most of the snaps at today's practice and had a spectacular game against USC, throwing 2 TDs on 6 of 9 passing.
That's the mentality you got to have all season. You always got to be ready. Whether it's in the middle of the game, you get thrown into it, or whether it's a week, you're going to be the guy. You got to be ready. You got to get your mind right and mentally ready to win. And that's the main goal. Is we got to get those wins, especially on the road.
Speaking of the road, the Warriors take off to the mainland Tuesday night as they get ready to face Army on Saturday, September 11th. Set your alarm clocks because kickoff is set for 6 in the morning Hawaii time.
How's it going, everybody? Despite being held out of practice this morning for precautionary reasons, Warriors quarterback Moniz is expected to start in Hawaii's Week 2 matchup against Army next Saturday. Junior wingman did not participate in workouts today, but was there with his team as backup Shane Austin and Brent Roush shared the snaps. Now Moniz, who left Thursday night's season opening 49-36 loss to 14th-ranked USC with what the training staff has called a head injury, says he's good to go and anticipates being able to return to practice as early as Monday.
I feel good. I feel normal. I just feel like a regular day after a game, the bumps and bruises, the regular feelings of your body that it goes through after a game. But overall, I feel pretty good.
How confident are you that come Saturday in West quarterback?
Well, in my mind, I feel like I'm going to start. I plan to start, but we'll see what happens when it comes to Saturday. It's all up to the docs and coaches and stuff like that. But I'm always prepared and ready to go.
Well, I think he's fine. In talking to Mo, he feels fine. Talking to the, everyone, I think he's fine. A week from today, I expect him to be our starting quarterback.
Now, Army today opened their season with a 31-27 victory over Eastern Michigan. Warriors will take the day off tomorrow before returning to practice on Monday. Kickoff next Saturday in West Point, set for 6 in the morning Hawaii time. Bad news regarding former Warrior All-American quarterback Colt Brennan. 2007 Heisman finalist released by the Oakland Raiders today. Number 4 only appeared in one preseason game for the Raiders, completing his only pass attempt for 14 yards. All NFL teams had to cut their rosters down to 53 for next week's regular season. Other Hawaii guys released today: Jacksonville's Keenan Forney and Carolina's Ray Hisa.
Each week, the Warriors expect to have some of their players dinged up here and there. And while Moniz is expected to be back at practice this week, so is one of his prime targets, Rodney Bradley. Now, if you don't remember, in the 4th quarter of Thursday night's game against USC, Bradley's attempt to lay out for a Brent Roush pass in the end zone was the last down he would play. The hard landing left him spitting up blood. But Coach Mack told us yesterday that the diagnosis is promising.
Rodney Bradley's fine too. You know, we were afraid that he had broken ribs, but they're just bruised, and he's going to be fine.
Now, among the top concerns for the Warriors this week will be stopping the run of Army. Against USC, Hawaii allowed 246 yards on the ground. Yesterday, Army opened up with 285 yards rushing against Eastern Michigan in a 31-27 win. Coach Mack is very familiar with Army's attack. You see, as Navy's defensive coordinator in 1992, he had to game plan for the Black Knights before.
They're going to fight you, and they're not going to quit. And they're after the same thing as us. You know, we're in a situation last year where they missed a bowl by one game, and they're a lot better than they were last year.
The Warriors leave for New York on Tuesday night. They'll take the field with Army at West Point Saturday, September the 11th. Kickoff scheduled for 6 a.m. in the morning, Hawaii time. And don't forget, Liz Chun will have an in-depth look at who is coming up next for the Warriors, and she'll have a sit-down with Coach Mack. That's on the Coach Mack Show next at 10:35, or 10:30 rather, only on KGMB.
Sunday, a day of rest for the UH football team. Warriors taking the day off from practice. As we reported yesterday, head coach Greg McMackin says he expects Bryant Moniz to be the starting quarterback this Saturday when Hawaii plays at Army. Moniz, who took a mean rip to the head in UH's season-opening loss to USC Thursday, sat out of practice for precautionary reasons. Shane Austin shared snaps with Brent Roush, and like Roush, Austin, who went 6 of 9 for 141 yards passing and 2 touchdowns in a relief role against the Trojans, says he's taking advantage of the extra work.
Well, I'm definitely, confident with the offense and stuff like that, so it's good to get that, extra work on Army, just to be prepared. But, any work's going to help you, so you just got to take it each day at a time and get better.
If Mo is not able to go Saturday, how ready are you?
I'm ready to go in. I mean, you saw it on Thursday, I can step in whenever, they call on me. But, if they need to call on me right away, then, I'll be ready to go. So we'll see what happens,
Army's led by head coach Rich Ellerson, who spent 9 years over 3 separate stints in Manoa as a defensive assistant and coordinator. Army beat Eastern Michigan yesterday 31-27. Kickoff between the Black Knights and Warriors set for Saturday at 6 in the morning, Hawaii